Hello. Today's video is going to be a very interesting video. I'm here talking with a very interesting man that I met on the bus recently, and we developed a great rapport with each other. And we were talking about, I don't know how we started talking about it, but we started talking about his childhood, and he was talking about living life without his dad. And this is a topic that I think a lot of people, especially in the black community, can relate to. And I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it would be great to share it with everyone. So today, the man that I'm talking to, he does not want to be on the video, and but you can hear his voice. He's gonna talk about his experience without his dad. And I think this is something, like I said, that a lot of people can relate to. And I'm hoping that you all will enjoy it. And if you want to ask any questions in between or when we finish, you can ask some questions if you want to. Okay, so today we're talking to, what's your name?
John Woodland.
John Woodland. He's a very nice man I recently met here at the bus, on the bus. And so, John, okay, we were talking about how you were feeling without your dad.
Yeah.
And you shared some very interesting points with me about that. So, tell me briefly where you grew up and how you grew up and how it became known to you that your dad wasn't around,
Yeah.
and how or when you began to feel the effects of it
Yeah.
and notice it,
Yeah.
that he wasn't present.
Yeah. Well, um, when my mother and dad separated, she married another man named John.
Okay, come a little closer.
Oh, and
Okay.
she married another man named John. She had 4 children
Mm-hmm.
by my dad,
Okay.
and she married this another man named John,
Mm-hmm.
and she had 5 children by him.
Okay.
And we stayed together until I guess they were, the oldest one was probably 7 or 8, and
Okay.
they separated. And at that time, my mother decided to leave the country, which we lived in the country,
Okay.
and we came to the city. And she started staying with her sister,
Okay.
and he was married, and I told him, I said, man, you the luckiest guy in the world to have a dad like this.
Okay.
Because his dad, the first Christmas came, his dad bought him all kinds of stuff. I said, man, you are really blessed. He didn't think anything of it because he and I are the same age.
So this was your stepbrother?
No, this is my cousin.
Okay, this is your cousin.
Yeah. And we
Okay.
started staying with them.
Okay, you were staying with your cousin.
Yeah.
And you were how old?
I guess I had to be 9 or 10. Nine or
Okay, you were
10.
9 or 10, and you saw your cousin, which was
Yeah.
a male, and his dad was giving him gifts for Christmas,
Everything he thought he was. Of
and
course,
you had never experienced that, right?
never, never.
So how did that make you feel when you saw that his dad was giving him gifts and showing him such affection
Yeah.
and attention? How did that make you feel?
It made me feel bad in a way.
Oh, really? Were you jealous of him?
No, I was
Okay.
proud of him.
You were proud of him.
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, man, you have got the finest dad, because his dad was buying a house and they were just doing good. So, of course, he had 2 more daughters and a son
Okay.
at this time, and they were young. And I said, man, I wish I had a dad like you.
Uh-huh.
I said, I've never seen my dad, except my mother told me that I saw my dad when I was a little.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, man, you're really blessed. He didn't think anything of it, cause he done had a dad, and he didn't think it.
Okay.
But anyway, as time went on, his dad started liking my mother.
Okay. Your cousin's dad?
Yeah,
He started liking your mom.
yeah, cause I had a
Okay.
beautiful mother.
You had a
Whoa,
beautiful mother.
she
Okay.
was beautiful. And his dad started liking my mom, so my auntie didn't like that.
Okay.
So eventually, she told us we had to go.
Okay.
In a sense, And so my mother moved out, got
Okay.
on welfare. My mom got on welfare, so she had four children,
Okay.
and she had those five by my stepdad.
Okay.
And my stepdad came to the city one day. He said, I came for my boys. He
Okay.
said, because they're going to help me farm up in the country.
Okay. Your brothers, your stepbrothers,
And
their dad came. He wanted his boys.
he wanted his boy. He said, but I can't
Mm.
take the girl. He said,
Okay.
because I can't raise any girl. So my mom kept,
Well, did he want to take you?
yeah, he wanted to, but my mom don't stand for that.
Okay.
So they went back to the country. My four brothers,
Okay.
Charles, Joe, Jim, and Billy. They went to the country, and I didn't see them for, I don't know, a long time. And my mother got on welfare, and she still couldn't really take care of us.
Okay.
Because welfare at that time was $99 a month.
Wow. At that time, welfare, he said, was $99 a month.
Yeah. And
Wow.
we lived off that $99 for a long time. I can't remember how many years.
And you never saw your dad at this time.
Now, all this time, I've never
Okay.
seen my dad. And so I said, when I get grown, I'm a little kid now. I said, when I get grown, I'm going to go and find my dad so I can see who he is, what he is, how he look, and all that.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. Somebody on the page wants to know your stepbrothers, were they birthed by your mom or
Yeah.
were they your stepdad's kids?
They was my stepdad's kids, but they were birthed by my mom.
Okay, they were birthed by your mom. Okay.
So those are my brothers, as far as I'm concerned. They're my brothers.
Okay.
And time went on, and I'm getting older.
Okay.
I said, when I get grown, I'm going to get me a job, buy me a car, and go find my dad.
Okay. You said when you get grown, you're going to get your car and go find your dad.
Yeah,
So you had a burning desire to find your dad.
exactly.
It was just wearing you out, right?
Wearing me out
And you thought about it all the time.
all the time.
So when the holidays come, were you thinking about your dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Were you wondering, was he thinking about you?
Yeah.
Did you ever think, was he trying to find you?
I used to think that, but evidently he wasn't trying to find me
Okay.
because he could have rode a horse down from the country down here to come to me and say, hey, boy, I'm your dad.
Okay.
But he never did.
Okay.
So I get grown.
So how did that make you feel? The fact you said he could have ridden a horse.
Or he
He
could
could
have
have did anything
Anything.
to get to you,
to
right?
get to me.
So how did that make you feel? The fact that he never came.
Bad. Made me feel, I said, where is dad? What, and to me, living in this city, just right around the corner,
Okay.
I said, he could walk down here in a week to see about me, but he didn't, never did. So I get grown.
Excuse me.
so I get grown.
Okay.
Get me a job. And he told me, he said, my mom left him,
Okay.
he said, boy, you're not gonna stay in school. He said, I know it. This
Okay.
is my stepdad. He said, cause you every morning your sisters ain't go to school. I come out to the barn to get the tractor ready and all that. He said, there
Okay.
you are.
Right.
Jump down on the law. Dad, I called my stepdad Dad.
Okay.
He said, I tell him, I said, Dad, I'm going to help you. Dad. He said, boy, you need to be in school. I said, I don't want to go to school. I want to help you.
Okay.
So as time went on, uh, after that, but I got me a car.
Okay.
And
Now,
one
how old were you when you got your car?
20.
Okay, you were 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got my first car, and I went looking for him.
You went looking for your dad.
Everybody was always telling me, your dad live in the country,
Okay.
my real dad.
Okay.
And I go to the country and get up there, and I went, ran across a dude and I asked him, I'm in the town that my dad lived in. I said, hey man, do you know a guy up here named John Woodland?
Okay.
Which my name is John Woodland.
Okay.
And the man said, he said, John, call my name just like John. I don't have time to mess with you today. I didn't understand. I said, no, I'm looking for a guy named John Woodland. He said, you John Woodland, you crazy. Yeah, he said that. I said, no, I'm not John Woodland. I said, I'm John Woodland's son.
Okay.
He said, my God, you are.
Okay.
He said, yeah, I know your dad. He said, your dad is in that cafe over there.
Okay.
At a
So
cafe.
this was a friend of your dad?
Yeah, a friend of my dad.
Okay, so he told you that he was across the street
At a
at a
cafe.
cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He said he gonna be sitting in the back there. He said
Okay.
you just walk up to him and surprise him. So anyway, I'll go in this cafe and sure enough, that my dad sitting back there. I looked at him. I said, "Wow, he looks just like me."
And you were 20 years old?
20 years old.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever laid eyes on him.
The first time you ever laid eyes on your dad, you was 20.
Yep,
You went to go find your dad
yep,
because it was bothering you that much.
yep. And,
Okay.
and
So you walk in the cafe and your dad has got his back turned to you?
yeah, no, he's facing me,
Oh,
but he didn't know who I was.
he's facing you
Mm-hmm.
and he don't know you.
Mm.
He don't know who you are.
Don't know who I am. I
Okay.
walk up to him and say, hey, man, do you know who I am?
Okay.
And he looked at me. He said, oh my God, you're John Jr. That's what he called me.
Wow.
He said,
So he recognized you because you look like him?
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Wow.
we could be twins.
Really?
I'm grown now. And he said, my
Wow.
God, you're John Jr. He said, go out there looking at yellow Pontiac. I'll never get the car. He said, look at that yellow Pontiac in the glove pocket and get 2 half pints of whiskey out, which he sold whiskey.
Okay.
That was his way of making a living,
Okay.
selling sealed whiskey.
Okay.
And I went out there and got the whiskey and brought it back in the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I started drinking.
Okay.
We drank all that day and talked and talked. And I got drunk.
Okay.
I said, Dad, no. I said, John Houston. Because I would refuse to call him Dad. I said, I don't feel like trying to drive back to Memphis tonight.
Okay.
The country is about 55 miles from Memphis.
Okay.
He said, I don't want you to drive back to Memphis anyway because I want you to meet somebody tomorrow. I said, all right. So he and I went to his house. And he got up the next morning, picked me breakfast and all that. He said, come on, we're going to town.
Okay.
Town's about 2-3 miles away. And we walk up to his house, and he go on in. I said, Dad must know these people.
Okay.
So we go into the house, and there's 9 girls sitting on the couch
Okay.
watching TV. And he told her, he said, hey, y'all, this is y'all brother. out of 9 girls. It was a 10th one. She had got grown though. Had married a doctor. And they took her to New York.
So these were your sisters
Yeah, these my
by your
sister,
dad.
by my dad,
Okay.
by another one. Yeah, and they treated me like cause they didn't have a brother.
Okay.
10 girls, and they treated me like I was a king.
Really?
Really, they were. This is our brother, you know. And
So they was really your sisters had never had a brother,
never.
and they really liked you when they first met you,
Yep,
and they
exactly.
treated you like a king. You
A
say?
king. Anything I wanted, but they look girls now. But I'm
How
20.
old were they?
I was 20.
How old were your sisters?
Uh, Start with the youngest one. The youngest one might have been 6,
Okay.
and go on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that.
How old was the oldest one?
The oldest one was in New York. I had never seen her, and I've never seen her to this day.
Mm.
And we got to know each other, and so I sobered up, got in my car, came back to Memphis that next day, that evening. And I said, I'm going to go back and see my sisters again. Because
Okay.
I liked them. They kind of failed me and everything. But went up and visited them. Every time I go to visit them, here come John Jr. They were glad to see me coming, and I had a nice car and everything. And we got to know each other
Okay.
real good. And let's see, what was I? Oh, and after a while, I stopped going up there. Just stopped because I'm grown, and I
Okay.
got married to all this girl.
Okay.
And I stopped going, no, this girl that I married, she said, they act like they want to coat you. I said, they my sister, you crazy. How you gonna say what I said?
Excuse me.
I said, those are my sisters.
Mhm.
And she didn't like them. Because they treated me like I was a king.
Okay.
I'll tell you. And after a while, I stopped going up there.
Okay.
And later on, I just stopped going up there. Yeah, I might go up there once a year or something like that. They stay in the country.
Mhm.
And there was some days. But I stopped going up there to see them. And when they got grown,
Mhm.
they several of them moved to Memphis. The youngest one, the youngest girl, she looked just like me, but my dad loved her of all the girls.
Okay.
And all the girls were his. I could see it. And he would get her anything she wanted. And she done got grown. He gave her the money to get her a daycare.
Okay.
She started running a daycare. Oh, this little sister bad, she's something else. But and as time went on, we visited. I used to go to the country and see her daycare. Her daycare was on 14 acres of land.
Okay. That was a big daycare, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was
Okay.
a house, but it was big,
Okay.
huge. It was, I guess she must have had 10 or 11 students, children. And it was time, yeah, I stopped going up there altogether. Just stopped going up there because this wife of mine, she did not like those girls.
Okay.
And so it's
So what
time
was your dad during all of this?
selling whiskey.
Okay.
He was selling whiskey all this time. And later on, I'm turned 35.
35. You're
35,
35 years old now
35, about 35,
at
36.
this time.
Mm-hmm. And he got sick.
Okay. Your dad got sick.
Yeah, my real dad got sick.
Okay. Were you staying in the same town with him?
No, I'm living here in Memphis,
Okay. Where was your dad?
in the country.
Okay.
And but he got sick and came to the hospital down here, the St. Francis Hospital. And by that time, this wife of mine was working at St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to come to me and say, "Your dad wants you to come see him."
Okay.
By that time, I'm disliking him.
Well, why were you disliking him?
Because he never, out of all that time I'm growing up, he never came to see about me.
Okay.
I didn't want
So you held some resentment towards
to.
him,
Yep.
even though from 20 years old to 35, your relationship was like what?
I wouldn't call him dad. When everybody go to the country to visit him. Oh, and one time, he and I was at these girls' house. And I called him. I said, "John." He said, "Boy, you can't call me John. I'm your dad." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "No, my dad's name is John Woods,
Okay.
who's my stepdad."
So you didn't want to call your dad dad.
And I didn't. I didn't call him
You
dad.
wanted to call him by his first
His
name.
first name, John.
And he didn't want you to call him by his first name.
He want me to call him dad.
Okay.
You're not my
So you refused to call him dad.
I refuse. I refuse. I'm grown now. I refuse to
But you
call
would call your stepdad dad.
dad. Yeah. And I used to go to the
Okay.
country all the time and visit my stepdad and them boys that he took.
Okay.
They all of them got grown. And but he got sick. He came down to St. Francis and come to find out he had cancer.
Okay. So your dad got cancer.
Yeah, my real dad got
And how old were you at this time?
38,
38. Okay.
39, somewhere along there. And my wife would come home. I bought me a house. I'm doing great. Had 2 children by her. A son and a daughter by this girl.
But
By the,
did you ever introduce your kids to your dad?
yeah, I used to carry them up to the country.
Okay.
And they, but anyway, your dad wants you to come to the hospital and see him. He got something he want to tell you.
Okay.
And I want, what could he want to tell? I didn't give a damn what he wanted to tell me. I didn't want to hear it.
Okay.
And he died.
Oh.
Yeah, from the cancer.
So you never heard what he wanted to tell you?
He never told me what he wanted to tell me because I didn't want to hear it. I wouldn't even go to the hospital to see him.
You didn't want to see your dad when he was sick with cancer?
Yep, I didn't want to see
In
him.
the hospital?
Yeah, I want to treat him just like he treated me.
Oh
I
my
don't want to
gosh.
be nowhere around him. And,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You wanted to treat him the same way he treated you
When I was growing
when
up.
you was growing up.
Yep. And I never went to go see
Wow.
him. And
So you didn't go see him when he was sick in the hospital.
right here in St. Francis.
So in your mind, you was paying him back.
Yeah. I was paying him back for what he did. I didn't think he was gonna die, you know. But
So when he did die, how did you feel about that?
well, I wasn't glad he was dead, but I didn't give a damn. I did not give a damn because he never came to see about it. Never. And
Well, what did you need him to do for you
nothing. I didn't want to cause,
when you were young?
yeah, when
What
I
did you feel like you was missing out on?
having a dad, a real dad.
Like what did you need him to do for you when you was a little boy?
Just come and tell me, I'm your, I'm your dad, this and that, and that. But I didn't want to hear none of that. I didn't want to hear it. He never came to see about himself. He died. And when he died, all of my sisters, they all grown now. Went to the funeral. I did not go to his funeral.
You didn't go to his funeral.
No. I hated him just that much.
You hated your dad?
Yeah. He never saw about me. Never. And growing up, I learned how to scuffle for myself. My mom worked at this cafe. And at night, I would go out my back door to this cafe. And men would be drinking whiskey. I would, my mom would bring the whiskey bottles, I'd throw them in the garbage. I would take the whiskey bottle and pour it in bottles. Till I got maybe 5 or 6
Excuse me.
bottles of whiskey. And I would sell it to these men in the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I made my money when I was young. I was a little boy then.
Okay.
And I would resell it, wash those clothes, and I would sell it back to them for
Mm-hmm.
$1 a box.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember all that. And that's how I made my money. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't need my dad to do anything for me. I did my own. I made my own money. I would steal. I would even steal.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, I would take care of George, Herbert, and Jennifer, the three of them. There was four of us at all, me. I paid four.
Mm-hmm.
And I would cost my mom only got $99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I would give my mom pay the rent. And she would ask me all that, boy, where you get this money from?
Mm-hmm.
But I was selling
So
it.
your dad never gave your mom any money
No, at that time, uh,
when you was growing up?
yeah,
He never sent her money.
no,
Well, do
cause
you think he even knew that you was alive?
yeah, he knew I was alive.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would help my mom take care of my
Well,
brother.
why do you think he never acknowledged you as a child?
I guess because he had 10 girls and I don't know. But
So you never asked him why?
no, never. As a matter of fact,
You never wanted to ask him why? He
not,
never acknowledged you, never came to see you?
no. He and I are just alike. I don't ask anybody for anything or anything.
Mm.
And he never acknowledged it. So when he died,
Excuse me.
when he died, my wife came, she said, your dad's funeral is today. I said, get ready, we're gonna go to that. I said, I'm not going to the damn funeral. I don't give a damn.
Mm.
Excuse me.
So you said you're not going to his funeral
Yeah. And I
when he
did.
died.
Yeah, when he died, I did not
Mm.
go. And those girls to this day don't really like me. They don't hate me. They don't really like me because I did not.
You didn't go to the funeral, so your stepsisters, they hold some resentment
Yeah.
towards you
Yep.
because you never went to the funeral.
I didn't go to this funeral. It was
Mm.
my way of paying him back for what he did to me all the years.
So that has severed ties between you and your sisters.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel?
Well, I dislike them not liking me. Cause naturally they said this is his son.
And do they have children?
Yeah, they all
So do you have a relationship with their children?
no.
Okay, so that's a problem. I think that's a problem because your nieces and nephews by your sisters, they are missing out on a life and relationship with your children and
Yeah.
your grandchildren.
Yep.
They could see them in the street and they don't even know that they're related.
Don't even know it. That's
They
right.
could date them. They could get on Facebook
It's funny you say
and
that.
meet them and go on a date and they don't even know they're related.
As a matter of fact,
So right now, do you feel like you want to find your sisters and repair your relationship and talk about why you didn't go to the funeral of y'all's dad?
well, they knew. They
Mm.
knew what dad they wanted to see about him. They
Okay.
did. So I didn't give a damn. I did not.
So at this age, what age are you now?
Oh yeah, I'm 30 years old.
No, right now today.
How old am I today?
Yes,
I'm 70.
you're 70 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have children. Your sisters have children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
So with the situation like it is right now, don't you think it's important for y'all to get to know each other and introduce the kids and the grandkids to each other?
I think it is.
Because like I said, they could end up dating
Yeah.
and they don't even know they're related.
As a matter of fact,
They could be on a job and that sister, cousin be the manager
yeah.
and they don't even know they're related.
Don't even know they're ready.
So this is a universal issue.
Yeah.
This is a nationwide issue.
Yeah.
It's so many men having children and abandoning them.
Yep.
And so many men and women, even though you have grown up and you're an adult, you've taken care of yourself, you suffer from abandonment issues.
Yep.
So, how do you nurse a broken heart from your daddy? How do you nurse and repair or try to manage abandonment issues?
I didn't try. I didn't give a damn. I didn't.
I want to understand because I've never experienced that. I don't know what that feels like. Because
Oh,
I had my dad in my life,
yeah,
I had my mom in my life, and
yeah,
I can't imagine my dad not acknowledging me,
yeah. Oh,
not being there on my birthday,
yep.
not showing up on Christmas,
Nope. Never
not
did.
taking me to pick out a Halloween costume
Never
for
did.
Halloween,
Never did any of that stuff.
not coming to the school to
Yeah.
participate in
Cause
activities.
he's got these 10 girls that he had to see about, worry about.
So let's go back when you was a little boy. Okay, when you was a little boy and at school, a lot of the other kids,
Mm-hmm.
dad would come
Yep.
and help them fix lunch or go fishing,
Yeah, with the homework and
basketball,
yeah,
homework.
all that kind of stuff.
How were you feeling?
Well, I'm a little boy. I, I really didn't. I didn't give a damn. I hated him. I hated that man.
You hated him
Cause
because you weren't able to participate in life like your friends
like my cousin,
and your
his dad,
cousins.
he had a great dad. He had a great dad. And his dad would, whatever he would buy that boy, he would tell that boy to share it with me. I mean, he and I are the same age. And I said, man, you are blessed to have a dad like this. You know, this time
So, do you have sons of your own?
I got a boy, and he's near 40 something now.
So, have you always been in his life?
Until his mother and I separated. His mother and I separated. But when we separated, I still kept him in mind. Anything he wanted,
When he was a little boy, you was
we
always in his life.
I always, much as I possibly could be.
How important do you feel that is for a father to be in his child's life, whether it be a male or female?
Yeah, yeah. I
How
feel
important is that
that
to
was
you?
really important to me. That's why it's now I married another woman, and she used to. Why did he want to spend so much time with that boy? Because
So you feel like a dad spending time with his son is more important than the daughter?
now daughter, both my son and my daughter, both of them I took care of.
But I'm asking, do you think that's important for the dad to spend more time with the son?
Yep, I thought that
Why?
because I never had a dad do that kind of stuff. You know, and
So do you think you wanted to make up the time that you missed with your dad by giving more time to your son?
yep,
That was your way of making up for that
yep,
time.
yep,
So the things that you missed out on with between you and your dad, you want to make sure that you shared that with your son.
hmm. And during this time, there's such thing as man downtown making a man take care of his children. And, but he didn't have to make me take care of mine. 'Cause
Okay, somebody's asking a question. Classy Boots is asking the question. So between 20 and 30, he and his dad never mended those fences.
never.
Okay, he said never. They never did.
We
And you
never,
never had a conversation.
never. We never had
Never. He said never.
we never had that conversation.
Excuse me.
My dad, during the time he stopped selling, well, he still selling whiskey, but he wouldn't do a last. And I would meet him sometime,
Okay.
and we would speak. That's all I would speak to him and stuff like that. But I didn't care about it.
So when you was a little boy, um, did you ever cry?
When I was a little boy, yeah. A lot of damn. Where's daddy?
When was it the worst that you cried about your dad?
Especially on holidays, Christmas and stuff like that. He
Did you
was
ever let your mom see you cry about it?
no,
Did you ever talk to your mom about it?
no. The only thing
You
I
kept it
thought,
to yourself.
yeah, I kept it. The only thing I cared about is I would ask for when I was a little boy, who is my dad? Where is my dad? She said he looked just like your ass. My folks, I had a hell of a mama. She was a beautiful woman, light skinned and cold black, and men loved her.
So when you asked her, where is your dad? What did she say?
He's up in the country.
Okay.
And I said, well, naturally, I said, well, when I get grown, I'm going to go
Well,
up
do you think they had a relationship, or were they just
They didn't have a
they
relationship.
just had a sexual situation?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And this time around, I guess I got over it, especially when he died.
Okay.
When he died, I didn't care.
So let me ask you this. You say you got over it. You feel like you got over it.
Yep.
Do you really believe you got over it?
Yes and no. Because,
So it's still something in your heart
yep,
that's still lingering.
yep,
Even at 70 years old,
yep,
you still thinking about your dad.
yep.
What are you thinking about as it relates to your dad? What do you think about?
I think he was nothing. Because he never came to see about me. Never.
And
Oh,
so you are still holding that in
yep,
your heart
yep.
against your dad
Against my
at
dad.
70 years
At
old.
70 years old. To this day.
Well, how is it benefiting you to hold it in your heart toward against him?
It made me feel good.
It make you
Right?
feel good.
Yeah. So
Wow. How does it make you feel good?
I was getting back at it for all that time.
Wow. So you feel empowered by getting back at him
Yep.
in your mind.
Yep.
Really?
Exactly. Exactly. But anyway,
Wow.
when he died, I didn't go to his funeral, and my sisters by
And
him.
by not going to his funeral, you getting back at him
Whoa,
in your mind.
it's by mine.
That's your weapon against him.
Yep,
Wow. That's your whipping rod against him.
yep.
Wow.
And my sisters by him,
Wow.
them 9 girls,
Hmm.
they they've never said we don't like you because you didn't come to your dad's funeral, but I know deep inside they wondering why didn't I go to my dad's funeral.
Okay.
But anyway, this wife, I got two children by him.
Mm.
We separated
Okay.
and got a divorce. I married another girl and had 2 daughters by her. They grown too.
Okay.
And you know, and all while they growing up, this wife, the second wife, we separated. And we separated, but I still took care of those 2 girls. She and I had.
Okay.
And anything those 2 girls thought. See, I had a good job. I was a roofer, making good money, and anything that 2 girls wanted, I mean, that boy, that girl wanted, I would get it for her. And my wife said, you just do for them and do for them. Because I wanted to do for them.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you, over the years, have you ever dreamed about your dad?
No, no,
Never.
never.
Hmm.
Because I didn't like the fella. I didn't like him because he.
Well, let me ask you another question. Have you ever visited his grave?
No, never. I don't even know where he's buried at.
You don't want to visit his
I
grave?
don't want to visit the grave. I don't know where he's buried at and nothing else.
Well, do you think it's important to repair your relationship in spirit, to forgive him? And do you want to love him in spirit?
No.
You don't?
No. I'm telling that guy, he
So you plan to hold that hate against him until
Even to
you
this day,
die.
till I die.
You're gonna always carry it.
I probably will. I probably will.
Well, do you think that's healthy to hold that hate towards your dad?
Uh, yes and no. I know it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not right.
But it hurt you that much.
Yep,
It's still hurting you,
yep.
even at 70 years old.
Yeah, 7 years.
Does it hurt more now or
No,
just the same when you was a little boy?
about the same.
So is that little boy inside of you still, it's still hurting? You still nursing that little boy inside of you?
Yep, to this day.
Wow.
My dad. All
Wow.
dads would love his children even though we were together. And he got other children. He still would acknowledge that I'm his son.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think it would have made a difference if your dad had acknowledged you?
If he had acknowledged me,
Say yes.
yeah,
What difference would it have made?
it would have made a lot of difference. Cause
Such as what?
I would have liked him, but
So let's stop right there. You say it would have made a difference for your dad to acknowledge you.
mhm.
So when I ask what kind of difference, do you think that has a lot to do with your identity? Your dad acknowledging you,
Yep,
it would have made you feel more of a person,
yep,
somebody that belonged to somebody.
yep, yep.
So that's important to you.
It was at the time.
Okay.
He's been dead now 8, 8, 9 years,
Okay.
and I still don't like him.
Wow.
I still don't like him.
So without that identification, without that validation from your dad, you had to just wander around in the world as what?
Not every day.
And that made you feel like you didn't belong to somebody, right?
Right. I belong to my mother. And I hit my mother, and I'm her oldest boy. And I hit my mother until all my brothers and sisters got grown.
So do you think it would have been easier or about the same had your dad been involved?
Had he been involved with me, it would be a difference.
Okay. Thank you, Ricky, for the donation. He just donated $5. Thank you, Ricky. This one of my subscribers. I have
Yeah.
some wonderful subscribers.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is something that a lot of little boys and grown men and women experience.
Yeah. I
And
know
it
it.
does impact your life,
Yep.
and it impacts your attitude
Yep.
as well as your latitude in some ways. And do you think the blame is more on the mother or the dad or both?
Now,
Or is there someone to blame?
I kind of blame my mom. I love my mom. But my mom was a beautiful, you wouldn't believe how she almost like a white woman.
Okay.
And men loved her. As a matter of fact, I like to kill a man about her.
So you think it's the mother?
As time go on, I think it was my mother
Did you ever have some resentment towards your mom?
a little bit. Because I realized, I said, but it was a good looking woman, and probably the reason my dad left her because she was her. Men loved her. As a matter of fact, one day, now this is when I'm a little boy. I'm 11 years old. I come to the door, and there's two men chasing my stepdad towards the house. And these two men running behind him. And,
Okay, somebody has a question. I hate to interrupt you.
uh,
Okay, Class Boost is asking, so what happened to the urge to find your dad at the age of 20 to now you hate him? What happened? Did um did once you met him, You found out he was a jerk or something?
Well, the more I think about it, he wasn't that big a jerk because my mother, men loved my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in this time going on, I know that my mom probably didn't care about him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, cause he and he
Did
wanted.
somebody's asking? Ricky is asking. Did your mom keep you away from your dad?
No, she didn't keep me away from him, but
Mm-hmm.
she probably got something to me that liked her to carry me when I was a little boy up to the country, but I had to wait till I got grown
Okay.
to find him. And I found him, and once I found him, whoa, I looked at him. I said, man, why didn't you come see about me? I'm your boy.
Did you ask him that?
No, no.
You never asked him why he never came to see about you.
And I figured it out. My
Why?
my mom was a good looking woman and men loved her, and probably my dad knew it. My he probably knew it,
So
man.
you think your dad didn't want to be competing with other men?
Yeah, yeah,
Because a lot of men love your mom.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So is your mom still living?
No, she's here too.
Okay. So did your mom go to the funeral?
No.
How did she react when she found out he had died?
uh, she never said anything about it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. She never said this or that about it.
Okay.
But those girls, they had those 9 girls. I said 9 girls. 10 girls. They,
Okay, Rick is asking another question. Rick is asking, did your mom love all those men? You say a lot of men love your mom.
yeah, I don't think my mom loved any of those men.
Okay, you don't think she loved them?
She liked them for the money she get from
Oh, she
them.
liked them for the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn. I tell you the truth.
Okay.
But if she met other men, other good men
Mm,
that really liked her and want to take care of her, now I'm grown now.
okay.
But she didn't care about them either.
She didn't care about the other men.
No, my
Really?
mom was something else. She was something.
So you think she just like to play with the man
Yeah,
and get gifts and attention
yep,
from him and money?
yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
She never cared about any man she ever had during that time,
Mm.
what she get from them.
Oh,
And
okay.
they would give my mama and try to buy my mama. But and my mama was a good looking woman till she died.
Okay.
Yeah. And as time went on, I knew, I figured out.
So when you talk to your dad, did he ever mention your mom?
Never. He never mentioned. He never even asked me, where is your mom? What is she doing? He never. I guess it was because when she left him, it hurt him.
Okay. You think it hurt your dad when she left him?
Yeah. And
So he
we
never said nothing about her?
never,
Never asked about her?
never. He all the time I went to the country, he never said, and he wanted me to love him, but I didn't.
So maybe that's why he never came back for you,
Yeah.
because he would have had to deal with her and see her,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to face you without being involved with her.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. It's a lot going on with that situation.
It was.
Okay. So maybe do you think that's why a lot of men leave their children and don't go back to see them?
Hey, because of their mother.
Okay.
Because of their mother. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick is asking, he said he's late to the programming. So what do you have against your dad? What do you have against your father? He has a resentment because his dad wasn't in his life and he never came to see about him, Ricky. So that's out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I,
So do you think you'll ever resolve that in your
I should
spirits.
I should have resolved it now because I know that my mom, this wasn't the woman for her. She had children, had 4 children by her, but she wasn't. My mom didn't care about no man. After, I wish I had a picture of my mother. Of course, I got some kinfolk that got a picture of my mom. She was a beautiful. How you would not believe how she looked.
Okay.
And as time go on, I can really realize now that
Okay, somebody's saying, Eva is saying, in those days, you didn't question your dad.
no,
Okay, he says that's correct, Eva. And they were very intimidating country men. Do you think he was intimidating?
my dad,
Hmm.
no,
Well, I think that's true. Back in those days, you didn't question your parents.
no, no,
And I remember that when I was younger, I had grandparents and even my mom. It was things we just didn't talk about it.
didn't talk about
It's
it.
just the way that it was.
Yeah,
But times have changed now. Children do question their parents.
yeah, they do now. But
And they
back,
do show their emotions and how they feel.
yeah,
But back then that didn't
they
happen.
didn't have. And my
It wasn't
stepdad,
really allowed.
yeah,
And
right.
it was understood you just didn't question certain things.
But all the time, my stepdad raised me for.
Thank you. You're right. For the $10 donation, somebody just donated $10.
But my
Thank you.
stepdad, I loved him. I
Excuse me.
loved him. I loved him because he cared for us when we were with him. And when she left him,
So you think that kind of help you to compensate for him not being there? The fact that your stepdad was stepping in
it helped a
to help.
lot.
You said that helped out a
Yeah,
lot.
it helped a lot.
So if your stepdad had never been there to help balance things,
I
how do
ain't,
you think you would have managed that?
I don't know. I don't know. But
You think it would have been tougher on you had
yeah,
your stepdad not been there?
yep.
Well, how long was your stepdad around?
He was around alone, even when my mom left him. My
Okay.
stepdad, he was always my
He
dad.
still acted as your dad,
Yep, he
and you
should.
felt like that was your real dad.
I feel like that's my real
That is
dad.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Is he still alive now?
No, he's dead too.
So when he died, did you go to his funeral?
Yeah.
Wow, you did.
Yeah. Cause that
Wow.
was my dad.
What did it hurt you really bad when he died?
My stepdad, yes.
Your
It
really
really,
hurt you.
it really.
Did he have any children?
Yeah, he had 5 children by my mom.
Okay.
And those 5 kids are alive today. As a matter of fact, one of them live right up the street there.
Oh wow. Wow.
But
Okay, Ricky says he says my daughter mom tried to keep me away from my daughter, but my love was too strong. I took her to court to see her. My daughter and I have a wonderful relationship, and her mom hates it. That is really great, Ricky, that you fought hard for your daughter. Isn't that
yeah,
wonderful?
yeah, it is.
So
It is.
do you think more men should be like Ricky and fight for their relationship with their children
Exactly.
when the situation is over between the mother?
Yeah. The children got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
And I remember,
So do you think your dad, you how would you have felt if you knew your dad had went to court and tried to fight hard to see you?
it would have been different. It would have been a hell of a different, but he never did anything like that. And back
Okay.
then, the courts and things they didn't give a damn about black children. They didn't. But, yeah.
So that would have made a difference if you knew he was at least trying
Yeah.
to fight to come and see you.
Yeah, it would have been a difference.
Okay.
And my this wife that I've got now, we've been separated.
Okay, Ricky says, I hate to interrupt
Uh,
you. I'm gonna let you finish. Ricky says your biological father passed away, so he hope you can forgive him one day. Do you think you will forgive him one day, or do you think you'll just hold it?
Maybe one of my 100.
Ricky, he said maybe when he's 100. He's 70 now, so he gonna hold it for 30 more years. If he lives to be 100, he said he gonna hold it. Why do you think that's important to hold it for 30 more years?
Because my cousin, his dad, took care of his boy, and his my cousin, uh, he made his wife separated, but still his dad took care of him until he died.
Is he still alive? Your cousin's dad?
No,
Okay.
all these people are
And I
dead.
know you went to his funeral when he died, right?
Yep, I would.
You did. Okay.
Yeah,
Cause you really liked him,
I liked it
and
because
he.
the way he treated his boy, and he treated his boy good.
Okay. So do you think you have been the type of father that you would have wanted for yourself
Yep, I,
and your dad?
yep.
Okay. So what is the role of a father to you? In your own words, what is a father?
A father,
A good
a
father.
good father, a man that takes care of his children, takes care of his children. And my stepdad, like I, one day, and my stepdad loved my mom. Whoa. And it was too many chasing my, a man was chasing my dad, go whoop my dad because of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him coming down the street. And my stepdad said, Junior, go get my gun. I ran in the house. I'm with my stepdad. I ran in the house and got the shotgun. At that time, we lived in an old rundown house in the country. And every time I would reach it, my stepdad never would keep bullets in the gun, but I know where he kept them. So I ran in the house and got shells at the drawer. And every time I get shells at the drawer, they hit the floor and roll up under the bed. So finally I got 2 shells in that shotgun. And I ran back to the door. And I said, Daddy, you want me to, this is exactly what I used. You want me to kill her something? Son of a bitch. And my stepdad looked at me like, I'm not gonna tell my boy to kill this man. But all my dad do is shake his head and say, yeah, and I go pull both, both triggers at the same time.
Okay, Rick is asking which one of your parents left the other one.
I feel like she left him.
Okay, he said he feels like his mother left his dad, Ricky. Rick is asking, did your mom bad talk your father through the years?
She, she didn't like him,
She didn't like him.
no. And every time I would ask her, Mother, what do my dad look like? And she would always say, he looked just like your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
all that ended up. That's why I got grown, took care of now. This wife that I married now, her daughter, they love me. He got 2 girls. They love their daddy.
Okay.
They love their daddy because even though we separated, nothing I wouldn't do for her.
Okay.
There was nothing I would do for her. Nothing.
Okay. So, um, come on over. Okay, we have somebody that has been admiring our conversation. I did not know.
Hey, girl.
Well, come
how
on
you
and join
doing?
us.
Okay.
Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, get you a seat and you can join our conversation.
Well, I can say about this young man since the time I met him.
Okay.
He seemed like
Would you like to be on the video?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay, great. This is wonderful. Okay, let's talk to you. Come on, Shan. Have a seat.
Sit a week.
Okay. Let me go. Wait a minute.
Let me get close to him.
Yeah.
All right. You
Hold,
doing
hold,
all right?
hold on, y'all.
Yes.
Hold on a minute. Let me move my chair. Oh my God.
Where you? Oh,
Thank you, Ricky. Oh, I'm sorry.
where you from?
I'm from Mississippi.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And I met her on a bus about a week
Oh,
ago.
this is wonderful. Okay.
Well, let me introduce myself.
Okay. Okay, so wait a minute, let me tell them what's going on. Okay. Oh, I need to this cord won't.
Well, maybe he move his chair around. I move around a little
Okay,
bit
yes.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there we go.
Okay.
And put my lipstick on.
But
Okay. Why don't y'all change seats? I think that'll be better.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that'll be better.
You make
Okay,
a good
so
news reporter.
okay, we have someone who has joined us, and I am so glad that she's joined us. She had been listening at the conversation. She said I would make a good news reporter.
Yes.
Okay, so let's. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Juanita Brooks.
Hello, Juanita.
How you doing?
Okay, so Juanita, you said you was listening from afar.
Yes, right across over there where I was sitting there. And I was enjoying y'all
I,
conversation.
I did not know that you was listening.
Oh, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Okay. So, what intrigued you about the conversation?
What intrigued me about the conversation with his family,
Okay.
you know, I can feel where he's coming from
Okay.
because it's a lot of families like that, including my family,
Yes.
you know. But what we have to do, we have to forgive and we have to forget
Okay.
because if God come for us now and with this on our mind and heart, where you think you're going? He said the little things that you do, it's not the big things, but you have to say, Lord, where I'm weak, Lord, make me strong.
Yes.
When you put God first in everything that you do, you never go wrong. And I met this young man at the library. We just started talking, conversation, because he beats up on the fourth floor all the time. And he seemed just like a brother to me and a father to me because my mother and father's dead, you know, and two of my brothers, 13 of us in the fact, well, it's 14 of us, let me see, my dad, 13, 15 in
Okay.
the family. I had to stop and recount.
Okay.
And, you know, it's a lot of things that's going on in this world today. And his story is not nothing new because that's have been happening down through the generation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And
So,
I thank God, you know, for allowing me just hearing his conversation. Some just told me to get up. And then I looked at him. I said, that's my friend.
well, I'm so glad that you came.
And he told me his testimony and how he had made it over. He comes up to the library with a good smile, a good encouraging word. He always reading that Bible now. He got that Bible with him.
Yes. Yes.
And he had a little bad congestion. I was telling him by me being in the nursing field that what he need to get to help himself. And so I guess he went on and got it because I don't hear all that cookie in his throat.
Okay. So, you said you have experiences in your own family.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and use it. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna use
Okay.
the restroom. I'll be back.
Well, you know, in our families, you know, it's a lot of jealousy, hatred, and that's in the Bible, you
Yes.
know. And so, you know, what I have to do on in life and to go on is to pray for them, continue to love them, and hold my head up high and be strong.
Well, do you find that in your own family, a lot of the fathers were not a part of the children's life? Do you have children?
But yes, I have a son and a daughter.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Was their father in their life?
Well, one wasn't, but
Okay.
the other one, my son, dad was in his life.
How did that affect him? Was it similar to his situation?
No, well, it was sort of similar to my daughter's situation,
Okay.
you know. But one thing I think about the young people, the life today, is that one thing they searching for things, and when they took prayer out of school, I think that was the worst thing they could do because sometimes the parents don't pray with their kids. Sometimes the parents don't have time for their kids. Some of them works, and some of them locked up in jail, the mother or the father. But one thing I was thinking about in life, that they should talk to the, like in the jail, talk to the father and tell the father, still don't, cause you locked up, still communicate, write letters to your children, and to let them know, don't go down the path you went. Even the mothers, and the young generation now. The Bible said they are wise, but they are weak. And what you need to do is try to get into their heart and try to get it into their mind. It need more counseling to help these young people.
Yes.
And maybe they could come, and just one word could help. Just one word could
Yes.
help someone.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, do you agree that there's some things dad can be and do for the child that the mother cannot do and
Well,
be?
they can still stay in contact with the parents and build a good relationship for him or she.
Okay.
And just because the mother and father can't make it, that don't mean that you take it out on your child.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I was talking with him the other day, and he said something very important
Uh-huh.
that that's what made me really want to do this video. He said he had so much rage in him when he was a little boy because of his dad not being in his life. Do you think a lot of these children, that's why they have a lot of rage in them and they're taking it out on, you know, other people, and they have it, the anger coming out of them because they don't know how to communicate it any other way. They're missing something in their life, as it relates to their dad.
Well, it's a lot of kids are related, to their dad, but sometimes the parent. I have two children, and I raised my kids, and so for my son and daughter, never did give me any problem because I stayed on them. And one thing I never did when my kids was coming up, I didn't bring no man over them.
Okay.
They can tell you that now, because that was my pride and joy of my kids.
Okay.
And sometimes when you have children, girls and boys, you just
Excuse me.
can't go from man to woman to man to woman like that in life.
Yes.
You got to think about your kids. My
Yes.
mother said you got to think before you do.
Yes. And I find that a lot of women do bring other men around.
Yes, and they need
And
to find out more information about that man. They need to get a background check on them, find out more, because it's just like this. I told my kids, I told my mother, and my mother and father had two good parents, very loving parents. But my mom and daddy didn't play with us. They taught us the right thing to do in life. If we want to go to the left road, that's the road we want to choose. And no matter how some of these kids you can raise them, if they decide to want to take that left road, they're going to
yes.
do it.
Yes.
All you have to do is just continue to keep them lifted up in prayer. Because in the way of time have changed now. From the time me and him and you to come up in life, it's a new generation. Every year, a new generation.
Yes.
And so what we need to do, we need to get more funding, government funding, to help these young people. I always want to go into juvenile court system,
Okay.
because there's a great need for these young boys. When I was at the bus tournament, we was having problems with the buses here in Memphis. We still are. And so I knew about sitting on back of the bus when I was 12 years old. And this white man, I'm not ashamed to tell it because it made me stronger as coming up as a little girl. He took that stick and kept on. I didn't know what it meant. I was sitting in the front, and I said, then he took the stick twice at my foot. Then he brought it up above my head. Doing? He didn't say nothing. So Mr. Hudson was driving the two Fairground 9 normal. He stopped the bus. He said, Juanita, that's their rule. You got to go to the back. I said, for what? He said, I'll talk to you about it. So I was so hurt and pain, and and I mean, I was afraid to get back on the bus because I lost my appetite. My mother had to take me to the doctor, and I got the scar in my arm right here. The doctor had to give me a shot to bring my appetite back. I couldn't eat in 2 weeks because of the pain and the hurt. And I see things that's going on now. A lot of things have not changed.
Amen.
It have not changed at all. And like the people on the buses here at Memphis, I listen to their stories. I'm with the bus riders, and I see how the director, CEO of Memphis Transit Authority, matter buses. People don't know which way to go, which way to turn because he done flipped the buses about 2 or 3 times. But I was on Fox 13 and 3 News because I had Dr. King picture, and his hand was out like this. I said, y'all have forgot about this man's dream, but I will never forget his dream. I said, for us to love, it'll never happen. But we asking, we got hope and we got faith. And like Otis Reddy and Rita Franklin said, we just want to live respect and peace.
Okay. Okay. Somebody's asking the question. Ricky is asking, what about the bitter women who use the child as a pawn? Some women will punish the father by putting a wedge between them. Do you think that's true that some women use the pawn?
Oh yes, oh yes. I feel like this. When my children, Dad and I, we couldn't make it. I didn't hold them accountable for it. Those was my kids. That's my blood. And I told them they didn't have to pay child support. If you want to support your kids, your kid. If you don't, you won't. But life goes on. You don't, a mother and father should teach their children against one another because after all, that man didn't put no gun on you and make you go to bed with him. Okay?
Well, what can we do to help make that better to repair those relationships where the father can still work with the mother to develop a better relationship to help develop the children?
Well, what they need is like a meeting with the mother and father together and to reach out more to talk with the kids. You can't take your problems out when you and this man didn't make it. You can't take it out on the child
Right.
and then go and tell your child he's no good, she's this and she that. That's not right. My mother always taught me to teach your child about love. And see, that's the problem. The bitterness in the mother, sometimes the bitterness in the daddy. And sometimes these men want to do right toward their kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's these women's too. They feel like they got this child, they can hold this wedge over his head the rest of his life. Not sitting down talking to him, said, baby, honey, what can we do with our son and daughter?
Okay, Ricky says the kid grew up thinking the father didn't want them when that happens.
Well, the reason why the parents might have told those kids that.
Yes.
That was wrong if she did.
Yes.
My mother said, I don't care if they is an alcoholic, a prostitute, a drug, alcohol. She said, do not teach your children against their father or their mother.
I agree. I agree. Even if he's an alcoholic, even if he's a drug abuser, even if he's whatever, she made that choice. The woman made that choice.
That's right.
And I feel like she should let the child choose how they feel about that father.
First of all, she should never teach the child about bitterness.
Yes.
And once you teach a child about bitterness, it's going to grow up in that child.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that.
It's going to grow up in that child.
So if that bitterness grows up in that child, do you think the mother should be held accountable for that?
Even if the father, if the mother teaching a child that yes, they should be held accountable for it. And then you should ask that child, someone else should ask that child, where did you get that from?
Yes. Well, we also had this problem when the father tries to be in the child's life and he gives money. The mother, a
Will
lot of
lie.
mothers will lie and use the money for themselves and not take care of the child.
Well, it's a lot of that's going on now.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of that's going on now, and a lot of fathers is hurt because the mother taught the kids the wrong thing to do. Yeah,
Yes.
you ain't never did nothing for me. Get out of my face, and say all kind of ugly words to their daddy.
Yes.
And some of these daddies have
Yes.
supported their kids and go down to juvenile court and lie.
Okay, Ricky has another question. Do you think little boys are growing up gay more than ever these days because of single mothers can't raise a man?
Yes, they can. I raised my son,
Okay.
and his father was not active in his life.
Okay. So you think it is possible for a woman to raise a
But
male
a
child?
boy needs their father in their life. Because there's certain things that a woman can do and a man can build.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's certain things that a mother cannot show a male child that only the father can show.
That's why a lot of these young folks is taking on to that gay and all that because bitterness, hatred, lies, and deception.
Okay. Okay. So once the child becomes gay, do you think that can be reversed if the father comes into the life
Well,
or not?
some of them can and some of them can't. Because, see, there's a left road and there's a right road.
Well, let me ask you another question. This is important. Okay, now that the gay lifestyle has been introduced into the boys, okay, how do you think that affects the boy as he becomes a man and affects the community overall?
Well, see, it's like this too. It's so many things have changed, like I told you. When they took
Excuse
prayer
me.
out of school, everything come in school. And a lot of these preachers, evangelists, bishops are going around. That's what they needed in the school
Yes.
to help these young people to, like Dr. King said, overcome
Yes.
some of these obstacles in their life.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you think? Where do you think we go from here?
What we need to go from here is start praying more, praying hard. If you ain't never prayed, you better pray now, because that's what we need. And we
Okay.
need that godly love back in our hearts.
How can we get it back?
We got to make that change. We got to want to make that change. We got to stop killing one another. We got to stop taking that left road and start getting on the right road.
Well, what can we do to get on the right road?
Well, someone wants to get on the right road, someone don't wants to get on the right road. It's up with the person. Because some people still going to take that left road. You can preach to them 24 hours and teach them.
Okay.
Some of them will still take that left road. Even the rich kids out here, the poor, the middle class. It's up to them what they wants to do.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, so we have a lot of mothers that say, "Well, I'm the mother and the dad." Do you think it's possible for the mother to be both the mother and the dad and eliminate the man?
First of all, when they said that, ask some questions about the dad. Get to the root of the problem
Okay.
about the dad or even about the mother. Because some of the dads have the kids.
Okay.
See, it's two sides to every story,
Yes.
and you just can't go on one side of the person. I never did teach my kids. I just let them know I'm the mother,
Okay.
and mother gonna try to do her best.
Okay.
And I taught them to love their father, whether they right or whether they wrong, cause that's the way I was raised.
I appreciate that. That is very important to not exclude the dad.
That's what did happen now.
Yes.
That's why you got so many cases down the juvenile court system
Yes.
when you can work things out yourself.
Yes. But it's gonna take mature. Both sides have to be mature.
Yes. And
Yes.
there's a lot of willing men
Mm-hmm.
wants to do right.
Yes.
It's a lot of men now out here wants to do right toward their kid, but sometimes the mother's so bitter
Well, let me ask you this.
they be
Okay.
afraid to come around. Someone call the police on them.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I've seen that. I've heard that.
Well, what do you think is different from 50 years ago when it was two in the home raising the child, and now?
Well, it to me, it don't have to take two
Okay.
if you get on the right path and the right way of thinking.
You know,
And
my mother, we
and,
never discussed my dad. Never.
Excuse me.
But I felt it was his job to do the right thing. But he didn't. Of course, he had those 10 girls. Those 10 girls he had to worry about. And I'm here to sit. I'm wondering, why is my daddy doing this? My dad, he never do nothing because I always take care of John. Always. He put my, when I was 11 years old, I sold whiskey
Okay.
to take care of me and my brothers and sisters. But mom never did say, your dad, I didn't like your dad, we never discussed my dad. All the discussion we had about my dad was, I wanted to know what he looked like, who he is. And all things he would tell me is, he looked like you. And that was the end of the conversation.
well, you got to look at it. Back in those days, those women kept a lot of deep dark secrets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They not open like it is now.
Right. Right. Right.
And it's maybe your mother was hurt over a lot of things. See, that's why she did not discuss so many things with you all. She just so them women back there was strong,
Yeah.
very strong, and they did the best to bring you all up.
Yes.
And see, you got to love you. I know you love your mother for bringing you up like that. If daddy didn't do, and be proud of yourself, brother. That you ain't out here with a gun,
Yep.
doing this and doing that, going to jail, robbing, hitting and killing and stealing.
Yes.
Be proud of yourself. And then we don't know the situation, but your mom, only somebody know, that man above, and your mother, and and your father. They knew the situation. So you have to go on with life like that.
You know, I feel like my dad, he loved my mama so much that when he separated, he just didn't give a damn anymore.
See, sometimes when people separate like that in life, ain't everybody mind frame is not the same.
Right.
Right.
Some people can go be strong. Some people turn on drugs, alcohol, drugs, prostitution. Some people suicidal, turn gay, turn left, you know. Some people can't accept problems like other people can. But thank God you did. And you went on in life and worked and survived.
Okay, somebody's asking, Rick is asking, did marriage last longer many years ago because women felt they had to stay because women work opportunities wasn't there? How do y'all feel about that?
a lot of opportunities for the women's back in those days. They had to, work for what they could get to survive, to support their family. It's just like the slavery back in
Okay.
them days. Like I was telling people, I said,
Excuse me.
if you think about it, the church is within your heart. When they wheel that casket, it's gonna be on the one somebody.
Right.
And I said, do you think how the slaves made it? They all they laid out by the bobcats, the spiders, the alligators, the snakes, the fox, the wolves, the bear. They prayed and they survived.
Yes. Yes.
I said, read your history.
I never thought about how my mama treated my dad. The reason he didn't come into my life. That was his way of getting back.
But see, back then, y'all was some very strong men to keep on working, to help bring the family on up. When your daddy forsaken you, but God was still there all the time.
Like, yeah, I never thought about it that way, about how my dad felt about my mom. I know, but now I know that.
As you got older,
Yeah.
you learn more.
Yeah.
See, when you get older, you're supposed to be more wiser, not to be stupid out here.
Now, my daughter's mom is when she tried to keep me away from my daughter. Do you think that's why a lot of women deny their children the right to be with their dad, have a relationship because they
From
don't?
the time I have met Ricky, just a short period of time I have met him, he's an honest and true man. You can tell a person he have been through some things in life. That's life. But I think he loved his family,
Yes.
and sometimes a lot of time it's the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't no good. He left you and this and that. And then again, when you do, he did come around. He didn't want to go to jail. He didn't want no trouble, so he had to run. He didn't want no trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughters, I love my daughter. My son, cause he wouldn't do right. I stayed on. He thought my son told me, Dad, I think you was the meanest man in the world.
He realized that when he got older.
Yeah, I wasn't
But see,
mean.
when he was young, he was foolish. He had his foolish mind out there. And now he looked back on his past, what you was trying to tell him. Now he realized that's why he could come to you and tell you, Dad, you was telling me things right, but I just wouldn't listen. And some
Yes.
kids have to go out there and bump it.
Yes. Well, this has been a very, very interesting conversation. I have enjoyed it very much,
Yeah,
and it's something that a lot of people can relate to.
yeah,
And I think we need to have more of these kind of conversations in order to start the process to repair the relationships and the foundation for these children and their fathers.
yeah. No matter if they got 45 or 50 years, no matter how, still teach them to love their daddy and pray for them.
Yes.
Because prayer is the key to lock any door.
Yes.
I know that to be true. To
Yes.
what I was raised when I was a little girl. My mom didn't give us no key. She would let us we didn't go to church. We had to sit on that porch till she get back.
Yeah.
And you know what? That what made me come on in. You know?
My mother, she never told me about my dad, what kind of relationship they. She never told me that, so I assumed that he didn't like, didn't care about us. Just what on.
No, it would probably say didn't care about you. Some people have different ways of reaction, telling a person and how they feel. And he probably was a man, he just run, run, run. and work, work, work. See, back in those days, you had to work with all them kids, cause my daddy did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I took over my brothers and sisters. I made sure, well, four of them boys, their dad came down here and got them. Said, no, boys, they're good guys. They are.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But my dad, I just feel like he left my mom to be with another woman. But
Well, that's life. You got to learn that. That's life. Like my children, daddy, if he get another woman, I didn't hold that account because we couldn't make it. Life goes on.
yeah,
You know, you don't know the situation with your mother and father because either one never talked.
never talk.
And so you had a lot of questions in the back of your head. Why this and what's this and what's that? And then if you brought his name up, your mother never you would try to bring his name up, but mother had a shutdown.
Yes.
See, and then she don't know what she could have been going through a lot of pain, and you never knew it.
Yes.
See, they kept a lot of deep dark secret back in them days.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why
didn't-
I read my history. Sometimes I still read my history. I love to go way back,
Yes.
way back. I got an article that my grandmama left me, like in California, in 1921 and 1923. She said was 50,000 farmer was missing. I got that article. She left that with me. She said, I might not live to see it, but I'm going to leave it with you. And she
Wow.
said, whatever California is doing is getting it back for what they did to us.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just like I felt the picture of Dr. King. I was down there with Dr. King, birthday march. Uh, Dr. Isaiah Richmond and Maxine Thomas, they sponsor that every year downtown. And I felt the picture that they put in the paper was sloppy, was very sloppy. They had the king, but they didn't have the parade on there. So what you gonna put the king on there and the parade? Cause Dr. King was a legend. I don't care how nobody wanna put it in Memphis, Tennessee, with Memphis, Tennessee, as grew up, it's still racist
Do you?
and hatred
Okay.
in Memphis, Tennessee. It's a lot of that everywhere.
Well, I'm getting hungry.
Okay. Well, we have really had a great conversation, and I think this is a conversation that needs to continue
All right.
in order to help make these relationships stronger
And
and
better.
better. Yes. Okay, so is there anything that you all would like to say in closing?
Well, I like to say this. What's your name?
My name is Carmen.
Carmen.
Yes.
It's a blessing to meet you today.
Yes.
And I ask God to continue to bless you, to shine on you, cover you in the blood.
Yes.
Send His God and angels of protection around you wherever you go.
Thank you.
And this won't be my last conversation with you.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I've got a different opinion about my dad now.
Okay.
I've gotten wrong because I didn't like that fella. It wasn't his. Now I
You love Him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Like
Excuse
my
me.
mama said, you can come to love, you come to hate, but you can come to love when you start knowing things, and the best thing is the right thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is really wonderful. I really appreciate you saying that. That is really wonderful. So now you release that
And
hate
you feeling much better.
yeah.
because he said he was going to hold that hate for the next 30 years, 30 more
I
years.
heard him. I heard it. I heard it.
So you're going to release it now.
That's why I stood up. Now, where do you think you will be going today if you got close your eyes with that in your heart? We got no matter how people have treated me bad, even where I lived at. I got a story to tell you. Where I live at, I hadn't had a refrigerator or stove going on will be 3 years. My resident manager, Miss Carolyn Smith, was black. She treated me like a slave in that apartment. I walked around my apartment. I got pictures and everything. She did not knock on my door. She did not tell me nothing. She didn't say a word, but I kept all my papers by law and my pictures
Okay.
and the code enforcement. So now they got a new resident manager. They come in, took pictures. This guy next door was named Abram, was breaking in my apartment. I've called the police so many times. I got tired of calling them. I got tired of changing my locks.
Okay. Well, somebody on the page said, Angie says, you have brought a lot of wisdom and closure in this man's life, and she appreciates that.
Well,
And
thank you.
that is
I
really
want to continue to do that. That's my goal in life. That's what I want to do to help people, not only in Memphis, Tennessee, all over the world, the country, and the United States of America.
okay.
And I would like to do something special for Mrs. Coretta King
Oh, really?
because that was Dr. King's wife.
Yes.
And I look at it, nobody since he been deceased did anything about her. Don't even acknowledge her in the paper or nothing.
Okay. What do you want to do for her?
I got this idea right now. I'm writing it down. But and then I want to do some more of our black leaders that's passed away. Need to be recognized, like Ada Wills, Terry Human. And some more need to be recognized to just celebrate they home going and what they stood for. Not the ones that down here, which ain't doing too much or nothing.
Okay.
I wanted the remembrance of some of our people. And I love Abraham Lincoln. That was
Oh,
my heart. My
okay.
mother used to read, and grandmother used to read Abraham Lincoln to me, and I collect all his books, and I love to read them.
Now they are really enjoying y'all. Somebody on the page says this is a very much a topic that needs to be discussed. Out of all the videos, this one hit home deeply for myself. Would would you like to continue this discussion? They really like this.
Yes.
They really like this. Okay. All right. Well, this has been very nice. I have enjoyed it, and they have enjoyed y'all also.
All righty.
And I really appreciate
This not
y'all's.
going to be our last time because there's a lot of things I would like to share with you. There are a lot of things I've been holding inside me need to come out.
Okay. 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 I have enjoyed y'all very much.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, somebody, Panama Queen said I can listen to her all day. Ooh.
Thanks for you.
Ooh, they really loving you on the page. Okay. All right. So thank you all very much. I am so glad that you all have enjoyed the video, and the whole discussion was really marvelous. And we will continue this again real soon, I hope. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. Bye bye.
God bless.